The theme for this game is movement. So it's supposed to be just a basic movement game to create in Unity. So the first one I made is a side-scrolling platformer. I made the animations for this in a program called Sprite, as well as any other future animations and backgrounds. But not this background, I actually got an image just for a paper for this. Alright, he completes it. Alright, this part's a bit more tricky because you got two moving platforms, one going up, one going across, and you need to be a bit more precise to get it right. And you have to anticipate that it's going to go back, and that's good. And as you can see, I kind of mess up with the canvassing and placing the text. Alright, and this is a second game, which is 5 mini games put together. Just very basic, simple, quick games. This first one is Earth Defender. It's supposed to be a basic vertical shooting game. And if 3 asteroids get past you, it's game over. And if 3 asteroids hit you, it's game over. I try to make it not too difficult so that everyone can beat this game. Shoots it. About 10 seconds left. And as you can see later, this is one of the games I was able to spend a bit more time on. I do like how it turned out. You won. The second game, Crasher's Castle. I'm definitely not proud of how it looks, but it operates, so that's what matters. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to press the space bar to lower the platform to crush the invaders. And I believe the 7th one that comes in kind of waits for a second just to throw you off. Yeah, like that. But it still hit the side, so I guess it didn't matter. Alright, third one is Carrot Cloud, another game that visually I do not like. If I had more time, I definitely could have made it look better, but I just didn't. So you're supposed to hold space to rain on the fire to extinguish it, but if you don't do it fast enough, the fire will just keep spreading to spawn points that I placed on the buildings. Alright, fourth game I do like a bit better visually. This is just taking a simple concept, something like just doing push-ups and turning it into a mini game. And also on this game I tried not to make it too difficult, so you just need to do about 8 within the time limit. And you still have plenty of time. Alright, go, 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 go. Yep, 11. Alright, final game is another one I'm not too proud of, but it's still a different kind of game from the others. Uses the mouse, just you're supposed to click the targets as they appear, and the score isn't acting as it should. It's supposed to be based off of where you click it in the center. And see, there he goes with the score. That works. Okay, this is the third game for Game Simulation. This is a montage minigame, and the theme is supposed to be either one game or multiple games kind of share a reoccurring theme or a sort of transition between the two. This one's supposed to be a game about a single cell picking up other smaller cells to eat, and it's sort of like kind of a search and find game. And after a certain point you'll have the arrow indicate where they are, because if you're not fast enough, well, you'll see what happens. Alright, so you gotta push this to get through. It kind of pivots in the middle. And you just gotta go, and other people seeing that, it kind of freaked them out seeing it for the first time, which I thought was funny. So this time I'm gonna go through it a bit faster, collecting it. And it gets that one, and I think the last one's past that wall. Just gotta push it, and then go around and collect it, and then that's it for this one. And then this game is based on the death roll that alligators do, and if you do not rotate it around that point enough, the deer will get away, as you can see, and you have to retry. And this time, if you do it fast enough, you'll get the win condition. And I guess I should have decreased the amount of rolls, but yeah, there you go. Alright, and then this one is where you pretty much build a web, and then based on these bugs that spawn, there is a percentage chance of them getting caught, and then you get the win condition. So the theme on all these games was kind of hunting. This is the arcade game, so this is the 4th game that we created, and I decided to do a side-scrolling beat-em-up game, which took a lot more work than I thought. Just getting the combos to work right, getting the player to not move during certain states took longer than I thought. Getting the computer controlled states to work right took a lot of time as well. And I have it at this point where, yeah, they just line up and you just gotta attack them like this, because if not, you'll get overwhelmed really quickly. But I wanted to make it a short game, but also kind of fun too. I really enjoyed the kicking animation when it happens, how it knocks them off like that. That also took a bit of time to get right. And then that's it for this game. The theme of this game was pretty broad. It's supposed to be based on an experience either someone or I had, and just turn it into a game. So I just decided to make a game about doing a snowball fight with family or friends. The inspiration for the animation I used from Grand Theft Auto 2, although some people might think it's Hotline Miami, though it could be close. So what's tricky about this game is that once the computers lock onto you, they will snipe you from across the map. And yeah, so you gotta be able to choose whether you want to finish rolling or not, because if you don't, they will get you. I think, yeah, I did pretty good on this one. Oh, I had 4 health. I actually had fun playtesting this one, because I try to make it so that the computers, they act randomly every time, but they do prioritize getting their snowballs. Yep, and then that should be it. It goes running off, and you win. This game is kind of a bonus game based off of a game jam, which is a collaboration between game developers. I had 2 other people on our team, and it was really hard to test because I don't have 4 controllers. And this is the final game. This is what's supposed to be a combination of a turn-based game, but also a choose-your-own adventure kind of game. So I decided to combine both into just this one big project. This one by far was the biggest and took the longest to make. So this is an RPG that has Earthbound influences in it. And as you can see, I kind of still messed up getting the panels to place right. When I test the game in the system, it works fine, but then whenever I build it and make it, it can turn out differently. But I do really like how it turned out, especially like the combat system. I have it so that when the player attacks, it can actually hit multiple enemies at once. And if I had more time, I would have implemented more kind of controlled leveling system. Right now, that if you level up in the middle of the combat, you'll get your health back, which I guess could help people when they're fighting the boss. But yeah, I really spent a lot of time just getting this combat system to work, having it so that when you're in the overworld and you face an enemy, the way that you're facing is the way that you're facing in the combat scene, and then also having, you know, the rats relative to where they were whenever they, you know, came in contact with you. And so this part of the game, you kind of have to grind a little bit to be able to beat the boss, otherwise it'll pretty much one-shot you. And then I do like, there's a bit of strategy whenever you're deciding to attack, because if you're not careful and you walk over one of the rats, you will take damage. So you kind of want to plan that as well. And it's also, it's nice to be able to just like see which area had like the biggest group of the enemies. But I do plan on adding more of this game, possibly as another project later in the future. But this part of the game is where you just need to grind a little bit, but it's really not that long of a game. I think you can beat it in about 5 or 7 minutes. But yeah, I really do enjoy how it came out. And the way that the rats attack is they don't really track you. They just kind of go to a center point and then go to a random point from that. And then this is where I thought I was high enough level to fight. Oh, I guess I didn't heal before the match, which would have probably helped me a lot. Instead, I'm spending some of my turns just healing. Yeah, 4. I spend that one healing. And then I healed again. And then healed again. And then somehow still got hit. And gamed over. Yeah. But what I made good about this game is that when you game over, your levels don't reset. You can just try it again. This time, you keep the level that you're at, so you can kind of just speed through here. But I also made it so that when you do beat the game, the levels do reset, so that the next person who wants to play this game can play it, and they won't be overpowered. But yeah, it just runs through. Attack. Alright, boss scene. And I definitely should have, better health. I think I try attacking to avoid getting too close. There we go, try attack. Go through here. And in case y'all didn't know, yeah, you can move during the defense phase. Which, I guess some people testing it had no clue. That's what it meant. Or maybe when I work on it in the future, I'll create something that happens that if you don't do any input, it'll like scold you and tell you that you were supposed to move around. Maybe that should be the solution. Alright, and then there we go. Beat the game. And that was the last game for the spring semester of Game Simulation 1. Thank you for watching.